They say that Australia is the land down under. So what does that make New Zealand? Let alone Dunedin, which is pretty much at the bottom of the South Island. In this video, I will show you that Dunedin is more than meets the eye. With a population of about 100,000, we are a university town with a beautiful harbour and a centralised city area with a distinct lack of traffic jams. But I'm biased, as Amanda and I have grown up in Dunedin, so I'll let you decide. Got caught here in the veranda of the post office with all the rain that's coming down. But anyway, this is my hometown. This is our base when we come back to Dunedin. And just thought I'd take a walk into the Roslyn village, which is around the corner from us, that we use for our coffee stops and our shopping. But I've got caught out because down comes the rain. Well, it's now September and it's spring. When you enter Dunedin from the north or the southern motorway, this is the first thing that will greet you. While Māori originally occupied the area for hundreds of years, the city itself was established in 1848 by the Lay Association of the Free Church of Scotland. A gold rush in the Otago province during the 1860s caused Dunedin's population and its wealth to increase dramatically. It was for several years New Zealand's largest and most prosperous city.
The south end of the city used to be the business hub, but as some of the buildings have been removed or demolished, they have been replaced by murals, which have brightened up the city.
There are quite a few charity shops in the area, and many of the old businesses have been turned into apartments. So here we have the Dunedin railway station in all its glory. It's made out of bluestone and oamaru stone and has recently been scaffolded and cleaned up. And a brilliant job of it. It's not only the outside that is beautiful, it's also the inside, which has got some exquisite tiling. I'll take you in to have a look. And this is where you get your tickets to go up to Christchurch or wherever you're going to.
Russell might be standing at the ticket office, but you can't buy tickets anymore. The line is used for freight only and the Taieri Gorge excursion, which goes to Middlemarch and back.
There you go, they don't do stairs like that anymore, do they? NZ rail on the tiles for each step.
Fitted out in lavish style of the times, the booking hall alone features a mosaic floor of almost 750,000 tiles of Royal Doulton porcelain. The sheer size, grandiose style of architect George Troop earned him the name of Gingerbread George.
So here's the platform that they use for Fashion Week, actually, I believe. They mask this off and use this as the catwalk, which is pretty cool. Not that I've been to one of the shows yet, but... So that's the law courts and the old prison that we've just gone past, which are opposite the railway station. Anyway, we're going to pop up here to the Octagon now.
First church was designed by the young Melbourne architect Robert Lawson. This began in 1867 and the church opened in 1873.
The Star building's on the right hand side here on this corner. It's one of the last independent newspapers. the bottom of the Octagon's blocked off. They call it progress. We have to put up with it to get the new drainage and plumbing in. But this is Lower Stewart Street that they're doing the work on here, and they've got multiple eating establishments down here. And here we are in the Octagon.
The Octagon is the city centre of Dunedin. It is an 8-sided plaza. To the south along George Street is the older part of the city, which we previously viewed. Along to the north is George Street, which has the majority of newer shopping areas. At the top of the Octagon stands a statue of Scottish poet Robert Burns. The Octagon was first laid out in 1846. The site was largely derelict for many years until two major early parts of the city settlement to the north and south of the Octagon were linked by the excavation of Bell Hill.
We're just walking over to St Paul's Anglican Cathedral, which is at the top of the Octagon, beside the town hall.
The Reverend Thomas Burns was a founder in Dunedin, and together with William Cargill, they vigorously promoted a free church settlement. He personally selected the first migrants and kept a pastoral eye on their welfare after their arrival. Burns set up a strong organisation for the Presbyterian Church in Otago and was its undisputed head. He supported public education and was the foundation chancellor of the University of Otago.
So we're currently going through the town belt, which is a strip of bush that nobody's allowed to build on in Dunedin, and it separates the suburbs to the central city area. But all these houses in front of you, you can see here, are all basically university flats, very few residential homes this close into the university. Just coming down into Castle Street, which is known for the central part of the university flatting area, where you can rent an old house or a villa. But at the moment it's Sunday and it's very peaceful, so I'm guessing they had a good night last night. Amanda and I both worked at the university for many years, so it's very much our old stomping ground. We'll just park up here, very, very close to the centre of the university, and we'll take a bit of a walk in. The University of Otago was set up in 1869, the first university in New Zealand. And these are one of the two professorial houses that were built to house the professors that worked here. The first departments that were set up at the Otago University were very much a sign of the times around the area, which is mining. Gold mining through central Otago, so geology department, mineral technology, music department, and they're all in what's called the quadrangle here, which we're just heading to. Well, this is our geology department on the right hand side here, the old stone buildings, which are absolutely beautiful. And on this side here now, it's mostly administration students. The flashing blue light there is an emergency call point. One of my fond memories is going to collect my wages here at the administration area in a packet and walking out with the cash in my back pocket each week. But of course all salaries now are direct credited pretty much. So here's the history on the university bell. It was made in Edinburgh and shipped to Dunedin in 1863. It was first placed on the tower of the New Zealand Exhibition Building in 1864. It was moved to the new post office building on Princess Street, which later became New Zealand's first university, housing the University of Otago from 1871 to 1877. 20 years later, a university employee made the connection between the bell and the original university premises. The well-travelled bell was returned to the university to be placed on campus in January 2019, in time for the university's 150th anniversary. So this is the Marama Hill building, which is actually the music department. It was built in 1919. And Ellen Hall Theatre backs onto this. that was used for theatre studies. So welcome to the University Archway. This holds a lot of history. It's where everybody got their results from their exams while I was working here. There's a big board inside there that you can pin the results up on, and they've kept them as a historical thing. It was also the entrance off one of the main streets on the other side, but it's been closed and it's only foot traffic. It's amazing how many people used to pile into this little archway. So each of these glass window areas was a notice board for different departments. They all had their own key so that they could post their results up. And this is the Leith stream which runs right through the university. People come down here during lunch hours, breaks between lectures, and sit on the side of the Leith and have their lunch or a snack, cup of coffee. Over on the left hand side here we have what's now the staff club, but it was the old dental school building a way back. And this is a very iconic shot of the University Registry and Clock Tower. There's also a few modern buildings sprinkled through the university. This is the centre of innovation. Well, we head off now down here and check out the University Union and the new library. The cafeteria is all closed up at the moment. It's actually in there. Just hold you over the top of the window so you can see. And they've noticed boards where students can advertise their flat, their materials, books and things they want to sell. In the entranceway to what they call the link. The key thing being here is they've made plenty of areas to sit down and feel like you're at home. It's basically an atrium between two buildings. Hence it's called the link, and along here you can buy coffees and sandwiches and things like that. All closed up today of course because all the workers have left. Look at that choice of microwave. Heat up your own lunch and grab a seat down here. So this is the newest library put in here. It's really an information centre more than a library. Very few books and lots of places to study and lots of electronic resources. So we cannot finish this tour of the university without a visit to my old apartment, which is psychology. It's a combination of old houses and new buildings. But Amanda and I are now retired. We stopped at the age of 60 to enjoy other things in life. The Otago Harbour is our playground. There's a cycle track that runs right round it, but today we're going to take the car down to just past Port Chalmers to Kerry's Bay to have lunch. There is a container port at Port Chalmers, and they also export a lot of logs from here. Kerry's Bay is mostly a fisherman's berth for their boats, but it also has a wonderful old hotel, Kerry's Bay Hotel, where you can buy meals. Amanda and I have bought a picnic lunch and we're just taking in the sights before carrying on down to Aramoana at the head of the Otago Harbour. You can just see the Tairawa Head's lighthouse above the pilot boat there. We're just going to head down there now to the Aramoana Spit. There's a guy, David Gray, ran around down here with a gun and shot quite a few kids that were out playing. It was one of the horrific scenes of Dunedin. We were all over TV1 News, and
and they built this place, a memorial for those that died.
The shooting rampage went on for many hours. It was all caught on TV. People were to lock themselves in their houses, but it all came to a very quick ending for the shooter.
Near this spot, on Tuesday the 13th of November 1990, 13 local residents died when a local resident went berserk with a rifle.
So here we are at the memorial. It's a more modern architecture type thing.
The 13 people that were killed were Gary Holden, Jasmine Holden, Rewa Bryson, Jim Dixon, Tim Jameson, Vic Crump, Leo Wilson, Dion Percy, Ross Percy, Vanessa Percy, Aliki Tali, Chris Cole and Sergeant Stu Guthrie.
I'll go and have a look out the mole.
Enjoy.
We'll see how we go today at getting out to the point and have a look at the lighthouse, Tauroa Lighthouse. Looks like we've got one seal up here on the edge, so we'll see if we can sneak past. And I've just seen quite a large group of people walk down here past the seal, so he's obviously quite used to people walking past him. Seems to be just looking at me like, okay, I'll let you go past. If you really want to go out onto the point of this mole, you're welcome. Thanks for sticking with us to the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it.
We always enjoy coming back to Dunedin. It's our home, and we catch up with family and friends.
There's obviously plenty of other things to do in and around Dunedin, but there's just some of the things to give you an idea of what Dunedin is about. Dunedin is very much an education town and a great place to bring up a family, as we did with our 3 boys. While Dunedin hasn't had the population expansion in the last 50 years that other towns have, the city has retained its nucleus around the Octagon, with entertainment, food, shopping. Central Otago is only 3 hours away, where I spend a lot of time skiing in the mountains. And then you can go down Southland to the Catlins, to the bush, shooting, fishing and sailing on the Otago Harbour as I've done for many years.
We've travelled around New Zealand and seen lots of wonderful places. New Zealand has a lot to offer, but there's nothing like home, and it's always good to come back.
Our next journey is a trip on the plane to Wellington to look after a greyhound dog for our son while they go to Europe for 7 weeks. So who knows, might even make a video of Wellington yet. But anyway, thanks for watching.